Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Okay. Hopefully this time the mic does not fall down. So for those of you who joined last stream, this mic actually broke down while I was building a third-party kit, which I have some mixed feelings about that kit itself, but we'll talk about that a little bit. But welcome, guys. Welcome to another Wednesday stream here. My name is EA Splits from the Plamo Build Report, and today we're going to build something. Let's see. How's it going, Joe? Kat, welcome to the stream. Dominic, it's been a while. How's it going? So, as you guys can see, I'm trying to get back into streaming again, which it's been here and there. Work schedule kind of gives a little time to adjust because now they are requesting late night meetings from me because I'm dealing with people overseas. So I'm doing good, bro. Next month is my 29th birthday. Ooh, happy early birthday. So for the first half right now, before we get into this kit right here, which it's a big one. So last week, I've just went around downtown here, and then just went around some some nerd shops here and there, and then, oops, I found this. Actually, this might be better. Yep. This is what's called a big Eevee. Big Pokepla, big Eevee, and it's a doozy, man. It's quite big that it's actually hitting my mic arm. But essentially, what this is think of it as a master grade version of the Pokemon plastic models that you guys probably seen. So, demonstrating this picture right here, it is not 1-to-1 scale. It may look like one, but it's actually about a palm size. So, very excited to build this. I do know this is really hard to find, and I got the localized version of this kit, meaning we have the original, the US Pokemon logo. They don't call it Pokeplot, they call it the Model Kit Big Series, which is quite interesting. So many languages in the box now. Yeah, I know. I don't think I could read all of them, but I don't think there's any. There's all the language except Japanese, which is pretty interesting. Big adorable eyes. It says grandes. Yep, I think that's French. I can't really say it's French, but los grandes ojos de Eevee son lindísimos. I think that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, this was quite a big find right here because Pokemon kits are really hard to find here for some reason, except for the older ones in the Quick Pla. I think that's what it was called. Many streams ago, I did build the very first big kit, which was the Magikarp. That one was pretty fun. It's actually in my living room downstairs, which was it's quite a good centerpiece. So I wanted to see if this Eevee is going to be like that one too. Deciding between an MG Dunamis or a double X. I'd go for a double X because for right now it's pretty hard to find, and I hear it's a very good MG to go. But like 50 USD, yeah, I know. So I think in Japan as well, this is what surprised me was that these big kits, they're about that same price tag in Japan as well. I think Magikarp was around $30 to $40, 3,000 to 4,000 yen. This one, it's no exception at all. 50 bucks. I mean, yeah, it's a huge price. It's about an MG, you know, the price, but I don't know. Eevee was just staring at me at the eye and saying, it just talked to me, saying, Eevee, you have to build me. That's, you know, that just struck in my mind. I just gotta get it. It was the only one in stock too, so that kind of made up. I made that grand decision of going so. So yeah, today we're going to be building this. Hopefully it's going to be very easy to build. And I wanted to add something extra to this one. I'm not sure if I'm going to paint this or try to make it fluffier than it is right now. So, ooh, yeah, you can tell how big this box is because I'm actually zooming like maximum out of the camera right now. And this is my hand. It's quite big. It's about a size of one of those like big HD kits. So already we are treated with a horrible, well, not horrible, but a very, very scary face. And as like the last Pokepla, I think these Pokeplas are really well constructed, especially the ages for like 8 and up, I think it was what it was. Not gonna lie, the empty face, it is pretty horrifying. Can you put the Eevee face on? Oh yeah. Oh, me? Can this fit my face? I don't know. I have one of the biggest head of any of the Asians that I've met, but let's see. I think it might work. Zoom in right here. Yeah. There we go. God, if Freddy was here, he might make something out of this. You can have the tongue sticking out or something else sticking out. I mean, it's quite something. But for the most part, I believe this kit right here. I mean, Pokeplas have all these like creative ideas of how to not utilize stickers. Speaking of stickers, I think there's only a few, so let's take a look at her here. But how is everybody doing today? Happy Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. I've been in a pretty good shape. Getting used to the weird work schedule that I have right now. It's kind of a big challenge for my work, for like my professional career. This is all the sticker that you will get. Not entirely sure what these are for. I'm guessing one of them is going to be for the tongue, and these white stickers, I think they're for the eyes. But yeah, very minimal stickers for this kit. Zoom out here. Yeah, I today I might have to zoom out quite a bit while I'm doing the unboxing. I have the feeling the Double X will be a fun build. I hear it's a really good build. I mean, anything that's like out of the ordinary, like I heard X was good. I really want to find one of those those old HG like 1998 like 1/100th scale. Those ones were the ones that they actually put a lot of efforts onto. Like one of the gold plating of that one, pretty good, better than today's standards. Get in there, but like I said last time, I'm glad to see you building streaming again. Yeah, dude, me too. When I saw you today, yeah, you had a very good, clean setup. I really liked what you did there. Plus the hairstyle, man, very good hairstyle. Do you have the Shure SM7B? Unfortunately, this looks like a Shure SM7B, but it's actually a Shure MV7. This one is a very good hybrid mic, which you could plug through an XLR, and it's also USB. And the really great thing about this mic is you can connect to your phone and you can start recording from there too. So yeah, I've been using this mic quite a bit. I really like this style of mic because my voice gets really loud. And for those of you who may join like some occasional karaoke stream, sometimes the old mic that I use, sometimes when I go sing very loud, it kind of cuts itself off. Last time this mic just fell down because the arm was too weak, so I had to screw in a little bit more than usual so that doesn't fall off again. Yours look longer than mine. Oh, okay. So let me tell you something about what I did. So it looks longer because I'm actually using the SM7B's pop filter. The pop filter is actually longer, as you may have known. So it's a very simple solution where it actually it gives you like a longer distance from the actual mic itself. So it actually works out better for pop filtering. So yeah, it's only like what, $5, I think it was. You can get a replacement. And it doesn't do like a tight fit, but it fits tight enough so it doesn't fall down. So not comparing size. Oh yeah, mine is bigger. Mine's probably bigger than yours. So that's where you'd rather sound quiet. Oh. Am I kind of quiet? I have a really weird audio setup that I have here. I'm mixing analog and, you know, like one of those like really old sounds. Yeah, like things that I like when I try to reconstruct the stream, like the sound, like a sound solution together is I have like a good amount of like sound equipments from like previous hobby, which is like, you know, making music. And I do have this really useful audio, like self audio engineering effects pedal that I'm using right now. It does like auto tone, auto leveling, and it could do this too. So it's kind of like one of those things. Sounds okay in my end? Yeah, and that's kind of the thing where this mic is essential to me because I generally get really loud. If it means for me to be right in front of the mic, I mean, that's what I have to do because out of all the mics that I've used, this one seems to be more stable and doesn't really hurt everybody's ears off. So it's good. I really like it. Plus the noise canceling out, since this is a dynamic microphone, which is like the same thing that you would use in like regular live situations or like stages or even karaoke rooms. They use these type of microphone, but this one's kind of like it's a better grade, I guess. It's constructed differently. For my computer, let's say if Joe's stream today was 100%, you sound like 60%. Oh. Okay, thanks for letting me know because I've been having trouble with monitoring my sound. Here's the problem with my setup right now. I do have two preamps going at the same time. Essentially, if you know, like, if anybody who has like a SM7B, basically you will need some sort of a cloud lifter, which increases the decibel of that mic itself, because SM7B is really, really quiet to begin with. So you gotta really have to punch it out. So that's what I'm kind of doing right now. And through my Go XLR Mini, I actually have it at like 0 decibels. And yeah, let me know if it's like a little too, if it's like really soft. I could either get really close to the mic or I could just like pop it up on my end. Right now, this preamp's at its max. So let's see how that works out. Here's another thing that is really unique to the kit. So I think it says it in the instructions as well, but the one thing this is very unique for the other ones, is going to be this runner right here. This is not plastic. This is a rubber piece. Like the rubber skirt that you see in the new Sharzaku HG. Which means the paws are going to be squishy. And I think the tongue part's also squishy too. So that's a really nice touch. So you can see I'm just like squeezing this paw right here. Once I get the paw part done, I'm gonna just squeeze the hell out of it. That's gonna be fun. So yeah, this is like one other big point that they kind of made it innovative. You know, just like owning a real life Eevee. I'll turn you up, everyone else down. All good. Yeah. Thanks for that. Yeah, I'm trying to still try to figure out like a good solution. I do have a crappy headphone, so I gotta have to switch that a bit. So far, my wireless solution is not that great right now, so. All right, let us start building. There's gonna be a lot of parts that I have to kind of go through. This is the big ass tail. Runners here and there. You know, I gotta say one thing. Feels really good to touch Bandai plastics again. The reason is, last stream I built the Dragon Momoko Geminas. I have mixed feeling about this kit. The fitting, as you know, is not that great. The proportion looks phenomenal, as you can see from right here. But, I say a big but, plastic is glossy. Which means if I want to paint this thing, I would have to sand everything to at like a certain grit before I even can prime this stuff. Because as you guys know, paints slip through very glossy surface, and this one is one exception. And it still smells like pool water because I did not clean the runners. So it's I do have mixed feelings about this kit. Probably when I go through the other Geminas that I have on hand right now, I could probably do a comparison. But yeah, I've been spoiled with Bandai's plastics and basically the overall structure of everything. So yeah, I think that's kind of like what I'm going through right now. The most important thing before building is looking through all the sprues to make sure all the pieces are there. That is correct. And you should do that while it's still in its plastic bag. I have not because I play it risky. So as we go for all the Pokemon plastic models, these are touch gates, which means you don't need a fancy nipper to put them out. Instead, you could use your hands just to break them open. I think there might be some that, yeah. The only bad part about that one are going to be the stress marks that you may potentially get. Which, as of right now, I think I'm gonna try to use my nails to just cover that up. That does not work. Did you just snap it off? Also, Joe is crying that you just ripped off of your hand. So, this is how it's supposed to be done, because these are mainly for kids, 8 and up, and it even says in the box. Oh, where is it? All right. So as you can see, you won't need any tools or glues. Para exposición de cola de adulto. No necesitas pegamento ni herramientas. So you don't need any glue, no tools, or no painting at all. But I do have to agree, Joe, with that one. I don't like snapping out of my hand. So today I'll be just using a God hand nipper just for the cleanliness. Yeah, that's a lot of basic of the lowest requirement as a grown-ass adult. I agree. But yeah. I mean, tools aren't really necessary for a kit like this. You know, EG is kind of the same way, but I think, you know, for us, we have to keep, tend it with care. And for these parts right here, I'm just gonna try to sand it off or just cut it out. I think I could cut it out with a knife. I use Xeron flush cutters. I got them in 2017. Yeah, those are pretty decent. Yeah, I do have like a handful of nippers, and today I was going to bring out what my biggest nipper that I have owned, which is actually a very decent nippers for just cutting parts. But however, I do not know where it went, so today I'm just gonna just use the best of the best gone hand. Chew it off, bite the nubs like a hangnail. Oh, that's a challenge. I've never thought of doing that actually. You know what's the random? I had a random thought, and I think it was a dream too. I thought of creating the first edible plastic model ever. And all my engineering degrees that I've learned in college have been spent there in my dream. Just try to figure out how that will be possible. Only way I can think about it is we have to make a mold and just like pour chocolate on top of it. And then just, you know, eat it on stream just to, you know, spook the hell out of everybody. That sounds like an oxymoron. Edible plastic. I'm not sure if there are such things. I'm curious if they do. That is big. All right, so this whole black part right here, this is going to be the face part. Very terrifying. I think when I was building the Magikarp 2, I thought I was building a dead fish because the only sticker that kid had was the eye for the black part of the eye, and it looked like Magikarp just dried out of the ocean. So yeah, in a way, it might be traumatizing for kids. I don't know. Plastic is hazardous to your health. Yep. Yeah, I wouldn't dare eat any of it. I guess you could be the one guy skewing the statistics of a microplastic to the human body by chopping a macroplastic. I could also make a stem diagram out of it if we want to go that far. It's fun. It's fun to make things a little more complicated on a very simple topic like Gunpla or plastics even. I could talk about different type of plastics all day, like PE, PS, PP, poly, KPS. You know, there's a lot that has been going on. Should I put stickers on this kid? Or should I not? I don't know. Something like this kind of kid, I feel like I'm not sure if I want to go far as painting them. It might be cool. It might be cool if I just like paint the shiny version of this one, but I do like the original Eevee color. Only reason I ask is because there's this part right here, which I guess is going to be the base of like... Yeah, okay. This is where you put the tongue, the mouthpiece, and the white sticker, stuff like that. Sorry about the bro. I was doing some stuff for you. How are you? Hey, New Mecha Gaming. How are you, man? Welcome to the stream. It's been good. Just started on this Eevee kit. They call it the Eevee Big, and oh my god. Eevee says hello. So the eyepiece has this very reflective, clear plastic, and not a lot of people realize how important this is. And you can see it in a lot of like those like girl mecha kits or mecha musume kits out there. These will help bring out the life of the actual character by giving that shine of life kind of deal. You'll see what I mean after I put it all together, but right, and then you know what? I'm gonna probably break the rules today. We are going to add stickers to this. Oh, actually, are these stickers? No, they're not stickers. Interesting. They're gonna be these clear plastics right here. The MG Gundam X has a design flaw to a very off. I mean, every first Gundam design is gonna have some sort of flaw. I think that's the whole point of it. Even like, you know, Seed from Seed had like Strike Gundam, which I personally love Strike Gundam because of the variety that you can do. You can go like heavy style, close range, and even like normal. Okay, it does require a sticker. I see. This fell out, so I'm gonna just try to put this back in. I don't know about you guys, but it's been pretty hot here out in the Midwest. Almost like 72, about like 90 degrees at most. Today's been like pretty okay. Today's like what, like in the mid 70s, early 80s. And my room has it's not the best place for any ventilations at all. Part of the backpack on that joint will snap easily, but it can be replaced with plastic cement. Yeah, I hear that too. So it's gonna just do that. So it's kind of hard. Oh, this is gonna be tough. It's okay. Good. Yeah, this is gonna be tough with just doing this. Am I even putting it correctly? I think this part, a lot of kids will have trouble. I'd rather paint these, but since we're doing this for simplicity's sake, we could just do that. Do I have? One thing to do if you're a builder who likes putting stickers on, always use a Q-tip. They will help you even out anything. Yeah, that might leave a mark, but it's okay. Try better with the other side. I don't know about you guys, but I generally use a hobby knife to take my stickers out. I don't know if you guys just do it by hand. I feel like if I doing it by hand for me would mess up the overall, I don't know, like the fitting of it. That's just me. But I'm used to like taking it out from my knife. I tried using like, you know, those tweezers or pincets. I just don't have a really good steady hand for these kind of stuff. Let's see. It's the other side. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. If I really wanted to do like a mecha themed Eevee, I would have just like paint these silver. But that looks good. I like that. We also have another sticker. Oh no, there's another part. Gotta move my runners over here. So I have a few ideas of how I want to make this fluffier. And the only thing I can think of is just using a low grit sanding, not low grit, like a higher grit sanding stick to give it like a matte finish. This, I guess this is right. They just separate this off for just the detail's sake. So we're gonna put another sticker here. This time should be okay because this one's like a flat surface. It's not like indented like before. Set it up. I'm just gonna just rub it in here. Yeah, that's not bad at all. And I think like for the eyes at least, I think painting it like if you do like a matte finish, I think it might look weird. So it might be best. I guess this time sticker is acceptable to give it that shine. All right, the next one is going to be the tongue. Just have the rubber runners here. This is it. This is going to be... Oh, there's another sticker on the on the top. This one's going to be hard. I don't like putting this type of sticker on like a very indented surface. If I go with the Dunamis, I'll go get more LED units for GN Drive. That is true. And those are expensive. I'm all about the gloss or semi-gloss. Yeah. You know, I only just apply gloss or semi-gloss for like panel line purposes, but I don't know. I love the matte finish. I just like that gritty look or like that flat look. Almost all of my kits that I have are like in like a matte finish. Okay, this is gonna be weird. Or not? Okay, that doesn't look too bad. Just pushing a little bit. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Yeah, because like, you know, there are some circular stickers that, you know, if you're applying them, that you have to do to get rid of all the... Oh. Yeah, I don't like this sticker at all. You guys probably can't see it, but at the top there is a cringe that just happened there. I'm just gonna like flatten that out. A double X would save more money, so I would go for a more feasible option. Then again, Ben, I'd love to clean this out. What I would do is I don't know. If you want, if you don't have it, double X is probably one of the kit that you want to experience. And if you have like remainder of like a money or a limit, you get to renew tools or you know, buy like an action base. Or LEDs. I mean, I'm not sure if Double X have those LED stuff, but all right, finally we're getting to the tongue. This will be something that I would look forward to. The other thing about these rubber parts is that I would need a specific primer if I wanted to paint this. Oh, look at that. I feel it. I feel the tongue. This is weird, but oddly satisfying. How does it compare with the Squish It Kitty? A little harder. Yeah, it's these kind of details that really got me sold. I'm like, Eevee's not even my favorite Pokemon. Like why did I buy this? But it looks cute, and I don't know, that thing just sold me. There's nothing nothing that makes you happy than just like, you know, squishing animal paws. I do have 2 cats at home, so I'm just kind of one of those guys who just like squish their paws. What about the cup noodle? What about a cup noodle? Is that your favorite Pokemon? Cup noodle as a Pokemon? I do have the kit. Cup noodle as a Pokemon. That's very interesting. It's that cup noodle kit. Yeah, I think. One day I do want to build this kit. I was waiting because like my original plan for this one was to make a YouTube video because I have a YouTube channel that's like probably not active for quite a while, but yeah, my plan was to actually do a comparison this with an actual cup noodle. I just couldn't find the right size. This is the original size of it, but I hear it's really, really good. There are parts where you need to actually use scissors for the leak. And I'm like thinking like, how do you panel line this or something like that? It's it's kind of one of those things where I'm just gonna go for it. Someone straight up quoted me at $70 for it. What the fuck? Dude, no. No. Don't pay that premium. It's not worth $70. Unless you're like a a ramen enthusiast. I'm pretty sure there are many other things out there that you could probably buy. All right, guys, you guys ready? We're going to take this horrible face and give it some kawaii-ness. Let's do this. There we go. That's the Eevee we know. Oh no, the stickers are the wrong. It's not covering this part. That's okay. I'll fix it later. Do I need to panel line this eye or eyebrow? The double X has quite a bit of common with the freedom. I guess so. Oop, okay. There we go. There's a better view for you guys. Yeah, this shine right here. I forget what kit it was, but I think it was the newer Fumina kit that implemented this idea. Having this type of shine kind of gives you like, it kind of gives you an illusion of, you know, rather than just like looking at like one direction, if you just like go right, like left and right, it seems like the kid is like looking straight at you from that angle. It's kind of a weird illusion thing going on. I think this plastic is, it's very reflective because of the light that I have up there, but this is great. I like it. We're gonna set this cute face aside. Let's zoom out a little bit. It's kind of how like doll eyes work. But doesn't doll eye have like a, like their it's kind of weird. Their ball has like that action where it just moves as you go. Like I broke a doll's head before and I looked at the inside, which terrified me. But at the same time, I was like, oh, this is how it works. I was young. Normally, it's flat colored eyepiece with a half circle on top for the 3D-ness. Ah. Okay. Okay, so they don't actually move. It's just like, it just gives that illusion. Oh, okay. Yeah, I really want to learn those type of aspects, which is kind of the reason why I've never built a waifu. Well, I've built one, but I've never actually done like any customization or like a paint job. I really want to like learn about those type of details. I see a lot of people try to do like shading of the skin tone and stuff like that. I'm not at that level yet. I just need to spend time on just getting that corrected. Okay, so this runner's done. All right, we have one runner done. We're gonna go for the ears. Okay. Ears have 3 pieces on it. Okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe you found a cursed doll, I can definitely say. It was already cursed. It needed to be, you know. I wanted to, like, you know, send it to like a happier place. I don't know. Ask a 70-year-old, my 70-year-old self that question. I probably don't have a good answer. I would have been like, Kimo. Yeah, there are many other things that I regret breaking because I was too young to understand. And one of them was my first ever Bandai licensed MG kit, which was the Granddad version 1.5. I burned the shit out of that kit. I do have a video on that one, but basically what I did was I've used everything from my room to make it into like a burn damage. It was nuts. I had a lamp and I just like set the part on top of it, and then it starts melting, and I would just let it sit until I see like black smoke coming out of it. Again, 7-year-old me wanted to weather, but not the best way to weathering. I mean, I've seen people do like firecrackers, so I mean, I guess I wasn't I wasn't really like far off of what they're doing. Yeah, I think I told you during stream. It was weird. But it's always a good story to tell because I always look back and say, "Wow, I fucked up that time." Real bad. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have like a I think I had a box cutter back then. And a nail cutter and a pair of scissors to cut off the nubs. Crazy idea. I'm curious though, with my experience right now, could I handle the scissor better? Maybe that could be a challenge for next time. I do have some challenges lined up that I want to do. Which was like 3 streams ago that I have to remember to go to the market. Sounds like a thing you must do. Scissors. Okay. Let me add that to the list. I'm going to make a note right now. I do have crazy ideas that I could probably do. I just need to see if these are worth doing. Alright, I will put that down here. Scissors instead of nippers. Tell you what. Oh wow, the last time I had the idea was like almost a month ago. I mean, just challenge or new technique to do with gunplay? I don't know. That could be one thing that... That's a good question. It could be a new thing. I mean, just like the same thing that I did with the sponge painting. That was really like a fun idea that I thought it would be interesting. That one actually a lot of builders from the Asian side did a lot. Which it wasn't really known to the North American build scene. So I figured that, you know, it'll be perfect for a charity stream. And I did it a few times and I was like, oh my god, this might be good. This might be really good. In fact, let me show you how it is right now. Just for your info, I did not top coat this at all. This is straight just using acrylic. Acrylic with a sponge. And feels nice. It feels rough. I do really like how it came out. There will be some things that I could improve on, but it's great. I would never thought that this type of effect would come out just by doing it like a few times. This took me like 2 days? Now, the one thing that I'm not going to do is move this around. Only reason is because I did not top coat this, and if I apply pressure with like just like my regular hands, then the paint kind of melts. It's an acrylic paint after all, so any sweat or anything like that will just be like that. So I am keeping it in this pose. I know I posted pictures of like some posing, but that was also nerve-wracking. I had to wear gloves for that stuff. But yeah, always remember to top coat your kit. I did not do it because I was lazy, and I didn't have, and it was raining for a couple days, so I couldn't really top coat anything. But yeah, it was fun. I love to do like any of those 8 challenges out there. I mean, for a ninja build, you have something interesting idea, but I mean, go for it. Yo, I have some ideas. I just need to know if it's safe. I already have like one thing about like panel lining, scribing, and also like recreating some parts, which that is something that I have to go back and remember what I was trying to plan to do. It's back in there. I have to take it apart again and see what I've done. I did clean it up, so. But I'm excited for that build actually, because it's actually a challenge for me as well, going through that full. And I think that's the fun of like doing like a collaboration build, is trying to understand like what you have put together, and try to see, okay, so he modified this part and that part, which I had fun just like going through your process. I've seen what you did during stream, I think. For those, I have to remember those. But the scarf part was the one part I'm like, okay, that is genius. That is usable. Yeah, dude. And for those of you guys who is not following Joe Inferno, he just got back in the stream with a very fresh setup. And he mainly does more kit bashing, and also has a very good vibe, and also sings pretty good. So go check him out. Give him a follow. Send some Plamo love, man. This angle doesn't really do good for me. I have to figure something out because I have way too many angles that I have too many scenes that I have to work out with, and I have to remember if I'm going here, 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 and everything's reversed. So I have to kind of go back and check it. Yeah, this new setup right now is working for me really well. Control is the word that I'm using. You have control of what you are presenting, which I love. Where'd the other one go? B3. It's a C runner. D1. E. Oh, here we go. I just snap that off. Yeah. And of course, I lose a piece. Hold on. It could be somewhere. Yeah, always. It's good to see you back to streaming after for quite a while. I mean, I know it's just to improve your mental health, which is important, by the way. So I'm glad that you're doing that. Making yourself feel good, you know, that's the important part. I have to get into a habit of doing that too. It's gonna be a very busy month for me, like from here on out with personal stuff. So trying as best as I can as well. The first thing that I have to do is find a suitable day to stream. There we go. There's that small thing. Yeah, everyone needs time out like that. It really does help. Yeah. So after my first PMW, I think from then I stopped streaming. So it's been about exactly a year since I've streamed. And I think PMW was like kind of like my like a comeback to the whole streaming scene. It's crazy to think about that. I think I've already told you this, or I may or may not have told a lot of people, but I was like work related wise, I was supposed to go to Japan and work over there for about a year or two. And it was like a huge opportunity for me and my fiance right now. But that didn't happen because COVID came along. So we were scrambling to see what's going to be the big our options there. And we decided to stay where we are, you know, get married, settle in, get another cat. And so that's what I'm like working towards right now. But here we go. Oh my god, this Eevee. It's ginormous. Look at the head. Look at that. It might as well be like a 1-1. Yeah, I know. It's great. Like, I wish I didn't put away the Eevee kit that I had, because I did like about, I think last like 2 years ago when I was like making a video about it, I did make an Eevee kit which was like this small in general, and that was a really good build. This might be good. There might be some seam limbs that I might want to get rid of. I don't know. Yeah, this is good. All right. What's next? Body. This is interesting. I really like this so far. So I guess for like the extra fluffiness, I was thinking of using like 1,000 grit sponge sanding paper, just you know, brushing it, I guess. Give it a little realism here and there, but I don't know. That might be something we'll have to consider after I put this all together. We got the second runner done. This is nice. This is going pretty well. Zoom in a little bit here. And I don't really need to worry about... Okay, so this is the best part. For any painters out there and kits, these pegs are... First, they're ginormous. And second, the connecting pegs actually are hollow, which means they don't stick as hard as the other HD kits or any Gunpla kits. Because they're hollow, they're pretty easy to take it apart without using a part separator. So if I just demonstrate you right here, yeah, you can see already we can just take it off of your hand. It's a lot easier to do. So the usual cutting the pegs and the holes to kind of make it loose, you don't have to do that. You could just do it just like so. It's pretty easy. I like it. This is really meant for kids. I wish as a kid they have implemented this idea sooner. Because as a kid, I would just, I don't know. I did not know how to use a part separator correctly. So this is definitely an improvement. Which I encourage a lot of like kids to get into the model hobby, but I think at one time hobbies just got a little too complicated. Not exactly gatekeeping, but just discourages children to kind of go through. I mean, the 90s, you know, we had to go through hardship. That was our childhood. But after like 2000, 2010-ish, convenience was like one of the things that a lot of kids expect, and parents also tell their kids to just you know, just don't put any effort into it. I don't know. Could be one of those generation gap. You know, you still don't have one. You use a hobby knife. So here's one thing that if you don't have a part separator, there is a very special tool that you can use. It's one of those like earwax spoons. I've used that when I was getting into building. Those actually really do help. So you have to get not the circular kind. It's kind of like a... Let me see if I can find an image of it. It's crazy. Let's see. Don't worry, I will show you the cleaner one. I've used my tweezer as part separators. Those could work too. All right. Let me just show you. Wait, window capture's on. All right. Can I... Okay. So if you see one of these, look for this type. It's kind of like a flatter. It's if my hand is kind of like the overhead, you can see there's gonna be a flat end here, and it kind of has that groove to it. Don't use this one. This might work as well, but this one doesn't work too well. This one actually has a straight edge, just like as you see right here. And it allows you to go into the part, and then all you gotta do is just pop it like a soda can. Yeah, these work. These actually work. So if you want to try it out, yeah, just find anywhere from anything from this one. This one doesn't really cost that much either. But I've used that a lot when I was a kid. It's I still try to use it, like, because, you know, thing about these part separators, they're nice. They're really good to have. Sometimes if you don't know how to use it correctly, you can scratch the plastic or destroy like the edge of it. And I think it's because they don't exactly know like the correct usage of it. And I'm a victim of that, but I learned my mistakes. You have to push it in instead of cranking it in like this. Like, so if you have a part right here, you have to push it in until it opens up. But I see a lot of people do this. Yeah, if you do that, then this blade will scratch the plastic off, just like you can hear like that. Sang Song, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Today we're building the big Eevee. I mean, I do that with the hobby knife, not gonna lie. Yeah, I tried the hobby knife technique too, but I don't know. The knife that I usually get, I have like their blades sometimes chip off, and sometimes I miss aim. Like this knife as well. You can't really see it, but the edge chipped off. So I have to replace this soon. It does cut through the plastic, yeah. So yeah, that's kind of the reason why you need like a dull blade. This one isn't really a dull blade. Like you can literally cut yourself with this one, but not as much. But it still has that edge that you see right here. Although this is really, and I see a lot of people grip it this way, and it's very misleading. This is kind of like a really weird design concept. You're supposed to hold it, I mean, I find it easier to hold it this way, but it's very uncomfortable to do. So like, for example, if I were to open this up, I'm holding it the correct way, and I just push it. You have to do it like little by little. Like, see, just pushing it. That way you don't destroy the plastic. If you start doing it like this, that's when you're gonna eat the plastic up. So be careful when you're using these kind of stuff. You wouldn't want to use it in this side either. Actually, this makes it harder to do. I don't know. Depends on like how you use it, but yeah, it's very misleading how they designed it this way. That's why like I think there's some other part separators that are like an anchor shaped and has the same tip that you saw with that earwax remover. So you know, that might be your best bet. I think it's a little cheaper too. This is a Wave product, which means it's a very old-fashioned. They tried. I think the best alternate for a separator are chisels. I actually tried to spin the separator once it got in like a doorknob. I mean, yeah. I guess it depends on your dexterity. Me, sometimes I go a little too careless on those portions. So yeah, that's just me. But that's just my experience in general. And I believe everybody else have like their own experience of how to use parts. But yeah, there are no right or wrong answers. Hell, I've used an earwax remover as a part separator, and I've used a makeup sponge to paint. So anything can go. The beauty of the hobby is, you know, you could literally use anything to make something really good. That's why I love this hobby. It's very experimental. Most of the time you will break the knife. Yeah, I've had a couple of blades that's been broken. Not gonna lie. Alright, we're gonna cut some more rubber parts. This is exciting. Actually, touching pause here. I don't think not a lot of kids have this right now. And I think the future Pokemon plastic models will have these. But I think Eevee's probably the only... Well, maybe Meowth. Meowth would be really cool. I would love a Meowth plastic model kit. A big one, too. Actually, let's cut this out. Okay, this one seems good. Bandai haven't announced a new big Pokemon kit. Haven't announced new big Pokemon. This actually is a very older kit. This is actually a year old. This was released in 2021. But look at this. Check it out. Gotta push it. It's a good way. All right. This is the end of the knife. You see that? You see that? Oh shit! I made it dirty. Oh, very squishy. I love it. I love it. Very squishy. Is it weird that I'm building a non-mecha kit? I do have a bunch of like different type of non-mecha kits out there. I just find it really interesting because it's fresh. It's fresh. It's a breath of fresh air. Like the other day, like I was like just following like Shizuoka Hobby Show news, and they actually had like a bunch of weird scale models that's like out in their cities, and one of them was like a telephone booth made out of runner. No, sorry, not made out of runner, but it's constructed like a runner. I always thought to myself, why didn't they just like make that as like a sales item for profit? I would definitely buy like 10 boxes of those. Why not? It's not strange at all. Build what you want. Yeah. More variety gives you more views in the plastic model as a whole. Yeah. That's the thing that I really love talking and emphasizing with a lot of people. Like, not a lot of people found that there's a lot of different type of kits out there that is very unique. Engineering sense. The other day, I was in a stream. I think it was in Kursak Tommy's stream, and we were talking about like different model brands and kind of like why people prefer one or the other. And Bandai is one of that. So after going through like different type of brands like Kotobukiya, Aoshima, Hasegawa, and Modeloid, and also Plier, and also Sentinel, which that's the worst. The Grand Lagan kit I had a very hard time with, but I think there's a reason why Bandai is still like on the top, and it's because of their engineering ideas. You guys probably think like, you know, like double knee joints, polycap less, using a different plastic like KPS, all the technical stuff. Bandai just like kept changing shit all around. No wave. You know, I really wanted a wave kit. I couldn't find any wave kit. Like, I see a lot of people do like 5-star story. I really want to see what it's like to build one, because I've heard I've heard a lot of people just complaining about it. But understand this, most of the brands that you see here are actual traditional model building techniques. Like if you build like a Hasegawa kit, like a Gao Geiger kit, I mean, that needs a lot of glue and that needs a lot of work with seamline. So and we, like modern builders today, are really used to snap fit kits like this one, which back then I hear that it was all glue. So there was no pegs to, you know, stick it together. You have to treat it like an airplane model or like a car model. You have to like use masking tape and then put like a cement. Then you gotta do all the sanding. I still find like most of the other kits out there are still using that technique, like a very traditional technique. And I think Bandai is like, if my source is correct, Bandai was the first to implement a snap fit and also add colors to their plastic. Innovative, right? You might be thinking, yeah, no shit, that's like today's standard. Well, but back then, back in the 70s and the 80s, that wasn't the case. I've met with many Japanese coworkers, and when we talk about plastic models, and mind you, they're like 50 or 60 years old at this point, and they're telling me, oh my god, like, do you guys have to sand and use cement? And I say, no, we just like put it together. Like, they were shocked. But you know, anything goes, I guess. I wish Bandai pushed more of their educational plastic model series. And Bandai hella cheap for kids. 5-star story is so bad for casual builders, but it's okay for advanced builders. I think I'm ready. I really want to try car model and airplane model just to get the experience. Because I've never built one. I was actually too afraid of glues, you know. Just buy the old Gunpla kits and you will feel all old technique. I do have a 1988 new Gundam with a die-cast knee joint. Bandai pours a lot of resource on multi-injection runners. Progress? It's so revolutionary that you can get a multiple color in a single part. Yeah, I saw that one. Wait, Gunpla had die-cast? Believe it or not, a lot of the older kids have, again, big ideas to up the price, right? Diecast, I don't think, was a pretty hot commodity back then. I think same with coating. If you see one of those like Gundam X older HG, like those like big 1/100th HG kits, their coating is pretty good. It feels a little cheap, but it's not as cheap as today's standard. Like, you don't get the shit gold, shit gold injection molding colors out there. Only that one, yeah. From what I understand, it was that one, and then there was a Sazabi kit, not made by Bandai, but I forget. Was it Wave? That was like the one confusion a lot of people had. They had an old new Gundam kit, but Sazabi made Wave. Wave made Sazabi for that version. You hate that gold that much? Oh, which one? The shit gold? The poop gold. This feels naked. Like, Eevee has that muffler around his neck. His or her or their neck. There we go. I think yeah, this is the male version, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, one day I'll show that kit to you guys. I really want to try building it. I have to catch up on a lot of backlogs. And trust me, there's a lot of backlogs that I had to put away. Not sell, but put away. Because I needed space. This whole room here, like this room right here, it took me about a year to kind of organize everything because of the backlogs that I had. It was hell. And I finally got to the part where I could actually put a glass display case behind me and actually fit a spray booth. It was that crazy. I thought I was living in like a storage bin. I don't know how I survived that for a year of streaming. I guess because I didn't really show the backside of the room. I guess that's the one reason that I just didn't use a wide angle lens. I am using one right now, like a 16mm wide angle. Yeah, Wave did make the 100 Sazabi. So where'd you get the Eevee kit? Camcorder, welcome to the stream. How's it going? So funny story. I got this at a comic book shop. It's called Vault at Midnight. And yeah. And it was like the only one out there, and I've been trying to look for more of these kits because this one's the localized version. So it doesn't have any Japanese. It has English, French, and Spanish. So yeah, it was a rare find, believe it or not. This became a rare commodity. I mean, it's Pokemon. It should be hot. It should be like everywhere. But this big plot, no, I haven't seen a lot of these. At least near our area. No, I've got this like locally. It was like a local comic book shop, and sometimes they bring in something interesting, and I sometimes kick myself in the butt because I've missed some opportunities. Like they had the Kotobukiya 1/100 scale Cyberstar, and I completely missed that out. It was on the shelf for quite a long time. Selling for like $90 though, which now that I think about it, it's a discontinued kit, so the premium was high. And I think the original price tag was about that, like about $70. So I would love to do more resin kit making. I would love to try a resin kit. I have a resin conversion kit. I just never tried it before. And I've been just like reading and watching other people just like saying, here are some tips of how to do resin kits, and it's a lot of work and a lot of health stuff to get a concern, which ventilation is a big problem with my room right now, so I'm trying to fix that somehow. It's not perfect, but it's doable. For acrylic painting, yeah, it should be good, but lacquer, that's where I have to really be in that health mode. Respirator is like, given, but just like getting rid of the fume smell. I don't think Overseas Pokemon is interested in Plamo yet. Overseas Pokemon is interested in Plamo yet. What is Plamo other than the streamer? Plamo, okay. Are you asking about the term, the actual word Plamo? Like my name right now, Plamo Build Report. So Plamo is okay. Plamo is a combination of plastic model, and it's a Japanese term under puramoderu, or plastic model. So they take the Japanese. So Japanese, they love to shorten their words or condense it. So purastiku moderu, and then they make it puramoderu, and it becomes Plamo for short. Puramo. So like gum pura, that pla part, that's kind of like where that pla came from. So yeah, Plamo is a term for anything that's plastic model in general. Gundam is also considered a plastic. Gunpla is also considered a Plamo. That's kind of like how the term came to be. Albie, thank you for the 18-month resub. Thank you, dude. I really appreciate it. Woo. Wow, 18 months. Thanks, man. I don't think I've. Yeah, that's a long time. You followed me for a long time, man. I have to figure out how to do the whole VIP thing. I'm just really trying to get through. Well, I thought that was all resin kits. It's kind of weird because if you think about it, resin is technically plastic. Plastic, like kind of like in the same material, but I think way to differentiate resin is a lot more advanced than just like regular plastic model. I think I still consider it like kind of like the same, like under the Plamo category. But I think because of the terminology of like the literariness, I mean, a lot of people take that seriously, I guess. I still consider it because I think resin was also like an old style method of, garage kits. I mean, that's one thing, but I think they have different names for like resins. I think that's why they're trying to like differentiate. Oh, I think the techniques are pretty in the advanced side too. It's not like a snap fit. You have to actually glue them, fit them. It involves a lot of techniques, and for garage kits are basically from what I know. I would love to explore like resin kits. Resin kits are not even from Runner. They are uncolored. Okay, I see. Yeah. It's kind of like one of those. It's very. How should I put it? It could be very misleading, and I think now Gunpla and like the plastic model community got so advanced in terms of like knowledge wise that now they're differentiating a lot of stuff. I mean, if you look through it a lot, there's a lot of different communities for each different type of models. Like Frame Arms Girl really accentuated the Mecha Musume or Mecha Girl side of the kit. It's all preference. Like a lot of people just love building. And I understand where they're coming from. It's a different experience too. You gotta handle it with care. Plus the plastic, they use a different type of methods for that. Yeah, camcorder. Don't even think too hard about it. It's just me just being into the hobby for a little longer than I should. In the end, they're all Plamo. I consider them all Plamo. All I know is resin kits and Gunpla. Let's see. So, if you don't mind me asking, what are some of the brands for resin? Like any resin kit, like there are like many different brands of like or makers for like a specific resin kit. I'm not entirely sure of that, and I want to start researching like what could be a good starting point for me. Even more advanced is some plastic model using different kind of plastic. I don't know. I don't make them or use them. I just know what they're. Okay, fair. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. I understand that. Heck, when I even started this like hobby, I did not like there was like I didn't know the difference between MG and an HG. Again, when I started, which was like 7 years old, I just thought they were just bigger. That's it. Which is probably the reason why my first Bandai kit was an MG. Very dangerous. But I think it worked out pretty well. High grade and medium grade. Okay. Yeah, I mean, these are terminologies that Bandai put together as skill level. Yep. Yeah, especially like Gunpla. Gunpla became like a hobby where you have to learn the terminologies firsthand, which I don't disagree with that, but in the end, it's just finding your favorite robot or anything that looks cool and you just want to build it, you know? That's kind of like how I got into the hobby. Like the concept of making your own toy from your favorite show. And on top of that, crafting, like, you know, doing all the painting and just like modification, those kind of stuff like that, that really interests me. And just seeing how it moves. Like, I enjoy like how it's made, like the show, how it's made, to see all the processes. It's a very interesting thing to consider, but that's just me. I love the engineering side of like how things go. Resin from your knowledge, from my knowledge, it's its own rabbit hole. You have the groups that make them, and then there are other groups that just recast those original resin molds. It's hard to determine who's who. That's so true. See, I mean, that's the reason why I asked, because again, those type of things happen, and it's really hard for me to kind of like determine, like, okay, if I want to start out, which one's the best one? Gundam managed to brand their own plastic model. That's Gunpla is born. Yep, exactly. And here we are. It's still staying strong for about 40 years. Well done, well done. All right, so okay, so the flat side goes here. Check. Okay, so here's gonna think. Check from the side view. From the side. Okay, they're both the same thing, right? Oh no. Okay. Gotta put this on. We're making the muffler part right now, so we can give Eevee some worm scarf. Yeah, I want to make this kit as fluffy as possible. I need to figure out how to do that. I'm guessing matte coat or some sort of a sanding grid that just kind of make it more, you know, more like a fur texture. That'll be awesome. Maybe I just have to add real fur to this kit. I don't know. Okay, then. Oh yeah. I feel you gotta roll the dice on them. I bought a full resin kit of SD Justa since Bandai, to my knowledge, didn't make one. But it's sealed until I find the time and ventilated space to work on it. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if you were here during the stream, but I actually have MadWorks Barbatos Lupus conversion kit. I don't know the full name of it, but I'm putting that on hold because I too have the same concern. My ventilation is not that great, and oh my god, look at this! Look at this Eevee. Wow, it's huge. Next to the oh my god. This is next to an EG. Look at that. Wow. Wow. That is, I think the tail is gonna be as big as an HG. This is crazy. It has some weight to it too. Wow. Oh yeah, resin is also very harmful to the lungs. Yeah, yeah. So you have to always wear a respirator for that one. I hear a lot of things, like a lot of people saying, so you want to get into resin, you have to remember this and this and this. I'm like, holy shit, dude. Like how many do you have to do? Nice and it is so big. It's crazy. But you know what's crazier? This tail. This tail's gonna be ginormous. I think this is the last. Actually, this is the last part that I have to put together. Wow, that was quick. How long did it take? How long did it take, actually? It's around 10:44 right now. About an hour and 40 minutes. Oh, that's not bad. And mind you, this is even not even doing like sanding and all that kind of stuff like that. I'm just taking it the easy route. I'm just using a knife to just kind of flatten out the nubs, but oh, there's one right here. Oh. Hey, thanks for the redeem. I still have to figure out what to use this for. But yeah, I'm on fire. Maybe if I have a voice changer. But it seems like my lights are not working as well, so I gotta fix that. But hey, thanks for the redeem, man. And it's still flickering. Oh god. Yeah, it's been weird. Here, let me fix the lights real quick. Hang on. Yeah, controlling lights are pretty hard, especially if you're trying to like put them together. Okay, that should fix. Yeah, normally if you put that on, it should blink like this. But yeah, it's not working too well. Maybe there's a filter to your light rate. So no, dude, please. That's why I put it there. Like even my raids, like, you know, it goes through like a whole like rainbow color, and I really want to utilize these lights. Just my whole internet connection thing was kind of, it's what's keeping it. It's a rave at Spud's house. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Actually, let's put on the raid mode. Nope, not this one. Maybe, there we go. Let's keep that on for a while. It's supposed to go crazier than that, but yeah, I don't know. So I'm just like testing out a lot of different interfaces that I have, which I'm using Touch Portal to actually have those reactive lights. A lot of macro, a lot of different commands, and a lot of things, but it all depends on the internet. These lights that I have are one of the cheapest light, and they do support, but for some reason they're not communicating well. I think it's the connection issue. Sometimes it comes out later. So it was working fine. it was working fine like during PMW actually. It was working really, really good. And then all of a sudden it just crapped out on me. So I gotta figure out what's going on there. Alright guys, ready? Look at this. This is a tail. Has a huge seam line in the middle. I do wanna get rid of that actually. It's nicely done. All right, and then put on. There we go. Eevee is done. It is as it's as it's big as it's almost as big as my face. You know, you could put it on your shoulder. I kind of like that actually. Oh, there you go. Hi Eevee. Hi Eevee. This will be great. I just need to figure out a way of doing that. Yeah, right. It's pretty big. I think a lot of people mistaking this as like a 1-to-1 scale, but for kids it might be a 1-to-1 scale because if you played Pokemon Eevee and Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu, Eevee does go on either on your head, on your head, or on your shoulder. That's cute. Is that from the quick line? No. So quick lines are actually a lot smaller. I wish that I have the Eevee kit with me because this one in particular is a very different kit. This one is under their big Pokemon line. So in Japanese they call it Pokeplop Big. Like you see this big. Yeah, this is one of their big series, which it's a lot bigger. The quick series that you're probably seen are actually very small. So imagine like this small. That's how big the EVs are for that kit. Think HG. Like if this is an MG size, then HG size scales like this small. And they don't move. I think the quick series are no articulation at all. Yep, exactly. It's like the big Magikarp. Man, that big Magikarp, I think it's still one of my favorite build in the Pokemon line. Yeah, so this is their second kit for the big series. You know what I told myself? Why didn't they make a Pikachu? I thought that would be like the first one, but they made a Magikarp as their first lineup, so that's interesting. Pikachu is not part of the line, but you can move the tail. You can move. Well, unfortunately, this head is not a ball joint, so this is the only movement that you can get. You can still move the ears. That's a nice touch. So I guess the posing, and of course, the big point. These squishy paws. Black Max, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. So we just finished the big Eevee kid, and it's squishy. Look at that. If you want to see how squishy it is, you see that squish? That squish right there. And it's gigantic. Squish, you say? Hell yeah, it's very squishy. And if you compare this with like a HG, this is the EG Sponge Gundam that I put together. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. Man, I wish I had a camera here so I could just, like, set it down to show you guys, but this is great. I didn't even do any seam line removal, so you're gonna see some seams across the face, but I do want to remove that eventually. Only thing I have to figure out, well, there is an easy solution to how to do the seam line removal and then put this ear back on, but it's gonna be one of those things where you have to know how much you have to cut through. It is a big Eevee. I really wanted to see if I can make this as fluffy as possible. It is in like a matte finish type of texture, but I bet I could make this softer, you know, like more fluffier than before. First I was thinking of like just sanding the whole thing with like a 1000 grit or a 1200 grit and make it like a matte, but that won't be squishy. I mean, not squishy, soft enough. So I gotta figure something out. This might be something that I could. Yeah, there might be something, and I was trying to do the posing. I'm sad that the legs don't move, but I guess because of the kit this size to be simplified, yeah, I mean it's understandable. But really, if you want to do like any like posing, this is probably the only pose that you could do. Yeah. This would be a good like centerpiece, just like so. If you just put it right here. Let's even. Yeah. This is great. I wish they made more of these. Yeah. The pose that I have right here is I just copied the box art or this manual art right here. I think that's the only pose that you can do with this one. Oh, there are some articulations to the collar, so you could make it like that. Maybe paint some streaking that looks like a fur. Yeah, that's... So there are many different methods that I could do this. And this one I learned from Freddy Goes Wrong. He's a great builder, and he usually deals with like very like horror themed building. One thing that I didn't notice that what he showed me how to do is you can use a primer that's not thinned. And essentially what you're gonna do is you're gonna just dab it with like a thick brush. Like just take the primer by itself with no thinning at all and just make it like gulky, like have bumps in it. Then from there, this is what he does interesting. Like he takes that and then he kind of sculpts it a little bit so that you can make like some patterns right there. And that's a really hard technique if you don't practice. So that could be one possibility, but I don't know, like I want to try to find like a really easier method of doing that, because that one's like, you know, I don't have his level of detail or his skill set on those type of art. But yeah, so texture with primer, I think that one I hear was like the better, like a very, very good options if you're trying to make that realism. Or putty, but putties are kind of really hard to deal with. It's either that or actually add fur to this kid. See, these also move as well. One thing I really appreciate on these Pokemon kids is that the level of detail, like really the level of details they put in this one. It's a simple design, but the color separation is good. It'll be very good for any paint jobs. I think I've seen some builders out there who made the shiny version of this one, which is like a light gray. A new technique I need to learn: texture and primer. Yeah. I'm not sure if he's streaming today or if he made a YouTube video of it, but I think he has a YouTube video where he archived his previous streams, maybe you could find it there, but I'm pretty sure there are a lot of other people who try doing that. It's kind of a very interesting technique that I saw, and I was like, you know, one day I'll try it. I have a thick primer that's yet to be opened. Thick primer is quite useful, even fix mistakes when scribing. Yeah, so thick primers, primers, they could be used like putties. Actually, I think that's like the basis of what a thick primer is. A putty. Like, there are two types of putties, right? One's like a primer putty, which is in a great shape, and there's a epoxy putty, which is kind of like this, but it hardens up quickly. It doesn't have, you have to mix it with a hardener, and then you just like shave off for, you know, the surface. So yeah, small dab of primer, like a thick one, will do the job. You don't need to like waste and like put together like a small sorry, I'm losing stuff. You don't need to use like a small putty this material, because I hear those drop really fast with the hardener. Who was the builder again? So the builder's name is Freddy Was Wrong. Hang on, I can give him a shout out right here. Yeah. I think he's supposed to come back to streaming again too. So go check him out. Give him a follow. Send some Plamo love. In fact, if he is streaming today, I might try to raid him to see, because I hear that he was coming back, but I wasn't sure. Yo, Zionic, how's it going? What's up? We just finished Big Eevee. He's quite big. Yeah, surprising it's not Gunpla, but look at that. This is compared to a Dragon Momoko Geminas, and it's great. It's quite good. Like, I am going to show this off again because it's squish. The squish. This is a good kid. I'm glad that I snagged this kid when I had a chance. Polyester putty is a good in between, but it smells and the hardener stain. Ooh, yeah. I think that's the one, the gray, yeah. I can't remember. I think I used that on one of the age weapons that I've built. I want this kit so bad after seeing that. Oh, dude. This is a very simple kit. Like, there are minimal stickers, so I use sticker for the eyes and the top of the roof of the mouth, which I'm gonna need to fix that later. You can see it right there, but other than that, everything else, it's color separated pretty well. Like the white, the brown, and then the muffler. I think it's a muffler. The ears moved too. The only thing that I wish they have done better are going to be the seam lines. So there's a lot of seam lines in the body, the head, tail especially. It's all around, and the paw too, right there. So overall, it's a good kit. If you want to perfect it, yeah, you have to go and do the seam line removal. Other than that, I really do love it. So Blockmax, getting back to yours, Polyester putty. I think I used it before, and that actually, I almost died from it. It's because I didn't realize that used a lacquer thinner to thin it, and I was actually using that on stream, and I used a little bit too much. I'll show you the weapon actually. Yeah, so hang on. Let me close this knife before something happens to me. Safety first, guys. Then I'm going to Yeah, Joe. I think you were in the stream when I was doing a bunch of stuff with this one. Thanks, dude. So here's one thing that I screwed up on, and already it's coming out. So I don't know why this is happening, but see this whole part right here, this whole kit. You guys will see like some of the mistakes I made. What happened was I was actually trying to shape this part. Like I want to give like a sharp edge, but I was using a Dremel, like a Dremel rotating sander, and then I accidentally put too much force into it, so it actually got into the plastic, and I had to recreate everything about this weapon. This is an AG. Very, very good eyes. This is an AG. So a lot of the detail points that you see here are, I put a lot of plot plate and did a hell of a lot of masking to this kit. So this one was not a separate part. This is like one part, so I had to mask that one. And also plot plate applications, this back portion right here, this portion right here, of course the weapon, and then this one, it's a hollow part, and this back, the whole back right here too. I don't want to take it apart, but this whole back was, I had to add like few plot plates and I have to sand like crazy. Yeah, yeah, you were there. So I did a lot of applications of this one, and this weapon, yeah, it doesn't look like the actual Age weapon that you see, but so all these gray parts here are also plot plates. I put them in there, and as you can see, I put a very thin plot plate here. It's starting to come off, so I might have to either try to fix it or just leave it as it is. But yeah, I don't know why that's happening. But getting back to that story where I almost died, this whole part I've added the putty. It stink like crazy, and this is before I got the void air purifier, and I was getting lightheaded. I don't know what the hell was going on. I think I was like streaming for like 4 hours or so, and I thought it was just like, maybe I was just streaming for too long, but no, it's the lacquer thinner. The lacquer thinner from the putty was like giving me headaches. I'm like, oh, holy shit. I realized later after I researched it and looked at the back, and watching Freddy stream as well, because he was mixing with a lacquer thinner, and we were talking about it like this is lacquer based. I'm like, oh, that's the reason why. So I'm being very careful with those, and if I need to use a putty, I will definitely use an epoxy putty rather than the polyester. I mean, at least for this scale. So be careful. You could die from it. I almost did. Yeah, that's a shame. That is a shame. Well, I mean, this was like a big project anyways, and no one's gonna see the back anyways, unless... Yeah, and the other thing I learned, if you're gonna use a thin plot plate, I don't know what thickness is. This is a very thin plastic. But I think what happened was, yeah, this thing, whole thing bent. It's not even straight. Yeah, it sounds like I hand painted with lacquer paint. Not really. You should use the ventilator with the mask. Lesson learned. Yeah. So some people ask me on Twitter that for the sponge technique, like they say, they ask like, can I use a lacquer thinner? And I told them, please do, or lacquer paint. I told them, please do not use a lacquer paint for that one because it stinks like crazy. And the dry time isn't really that fast. But I think it's possible, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. I didn't use much poly powder for years, and now it's just hardened the tube. Okay, at least that will save your life. But yeah, I think that's kind of the downside of putties. You have to keep them sealed, like really airtight, because of their properties. And epoxy, however you pronounce it, is also the same way. And like many other properties, even acrylic paints as well, you have to always like thin them once in a while to not harden out. I think some of my paints are kind of like that too. Like, this is one of the lacquer paints that I was kind of sponsored, but because of like the whole moving thing going on, yeah, I need to see if this yellow part can be fixed. I haven't used this in a while. I haven't even opened this one, so. What brand is this? Is this the Yaolin? The Yaoya? Yeah, it's that. It's that paint brand. I'm very excited to use this paint, so this could be some of the paints that I might use for my future builds. Nike, how's it going? Welcome. So, we have finished the big Eevee. It's gigantic. I really dig this build. But yeah, how's it going, Nike? Well, that's a big Pokepla. It is a big Pokepla. Like, if you put it right next to like a EG, yeah, it's that big. I want more of these. I want more big Pla. Very sturdy too. Huh. You know, I thought this build might take longer because I was trying to detail it, but what should I do? Should I start detailing it or? Nice to see Age. Have you seen this one before? I think you may have seen it on Instagram. This was like an old Age. So this is the AG Age 3. I'm pretty sure you have. This was like one of my big projects that I had, and this was one of the subject that I was supposed to make a video of testing out, like the lacquer paints. The Moto paints. So these are all done by Moto paint. So the white, the black, the blue, and the red, all basic colors. I actually made a video about it, just testing out these paints, because that was like kind of like my return to coming back to lacquer, because I've been using acrylic for quite a while because of the vent situation. And yeah, almost everything of like what I learned here, I love this paint. Like, texture's good. It's very easy to spray. I just love lacquer in general. The only issue is, like, you know, I gotta keep it like non-toxic for not only myself but to my fiance and to my 2 cats. So like, it was kind of like the journey of like how to vent your room properly, because my ventilation sucks. I'm literally sweating here right now because it's hot. Do I have the HG? I do. I have to build it. I'm not sure if I have I think I have the orbital version, so that I could compare. Maybe I should go. Maybe I should, like, you know, find it downstairs. It's in my pile of like Gunpla. Comparison after, yeah. I mean, can you really compare it? This thing doesn't move. Like, this is the only articulation it got. That's it. The legs don't move. You know. The only thing I can compare is going to be the detail, but it's going to be unfair because I did a lot of mods to this one. So, I mean, I could probably see, like, if it's, like, closer to, like, how I did it. How you painted it versus the HD. That could be something. Yeah. Yeah, I remember. This was supposed to be a paint test kit, but I ended up doing a lot of work on this one. You know what? I wanna flex more. Or at least I want to show you guys off of like what I built for as far as like the paint stuff. Maybe you could mod the HC to add an articulation. I don't want to cut, like this is already a painted kit, so I don't want to do anything to it. I like it as it is. If I were to do it before painting, yeah, definitely. But even that, yeah, that's gonna be a challenge. Because I don't know if you guys can see right here, the gray part over here, I didn't mask that. That itself was like one giant gray piece that you just put the cover on. So I didn't really fix this part because it's such an area that you can't really see. But yeah. So if I wanted to make this a moving part, then I would have to cut it, add some joints to it and stuff like that. It's kind of like those. Meg, how's it going? Welcome. You just missed it. We just finished this guy right here. The big Eevee. Yeah, Meg, how's it going? Welcome. It's been a while. Show her the squish. Oh, yes. All right. So Meg, check this out. This part, and the lips. It's made. It's the rubber part, and it squishes. Look at that. Look at that squish. Have you built this before? I really love it. I was trying to figure out a way of like what to do with it, because we do look at like there's a lot of seam lines this kid, and Eevee needs some love. I mean, the last one that I did was a Magikarp, and I wanted to kind of do the same. Yeah, they have squishy beans. This is and a squishy tongue too. Yo, Gunpla Builder Zero. Shaq, what's going on? Welcome, dude. Just showing off what I just been building for the past 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours. Oh yeah, I may or may not have 3 of them. Oh god. Lucky you. Yeah, I found this at a local shop. It was the last one left. These are pretty hard to find. At least around my area. 3? I'm painting mine as a Umbreon Espeon. That's actually a cool idea. I do love Umbreon. I love the Gen 2 Pokemon. That'd be cool. So are you like modifying like the eyes and stuff like that? Or are you just like the paint scheme? I would do a lot of like interesting things. What's Umbreon and Espeon? It's one of the evolution. It's one of the evolutions that Eevee had during the Gold Silver. Espeon is a psychic type and Umbreon is a dark type. Espeon, Umbreon. And it's funny because their Japanese name is it's pretty misleading. All right, so Nike, just for you. Why do I have a back end feet fail? That's not good. What's going on? Okay. So this. This is an Umbreon. This is a dark type. I really love this design of it. Hey, Gunpla Panda, how's it going? Welcome. We just finished in a big Eevee. I'll show you in a bit. And then Espeon is the purple type, and it's because it's a psychic type. It'd be a very cool project. I would love to see that actually. So yeah, Panda, this is what I've been building. Sorry to make a comparison again, but it is huge. Moreover, you can put it on your shoulder. Very cute. Yeah. Again, why aren't they making a Pikachu? And when is Scizor kit coming out? So is that supposed to be a 1-to-1 scale? Yeah, it is huge. Here's the thing. Hang on, let me drink a sip of water. They say a lot of people think that this is a 1-to-1 scale, which I don't blame them. It's like about as big, you know, you could hold it with both of your hands, but I don't think Eevee's this big. Let's see. All right, here's what we're gonna do. It's gonna be Eevee is 1 foot tall, weighs 14.3 pounds. Hang on. Why isn't... Oh. Oh, it's because... I see. So yeah, this is the stat of the Eevee. 1 foot tall. So I guess this is... a real... like 1-to-1? Ooh, sorry about that. Yeah, I guess this is a 1-to-1. That is crazy. Espeon looks like a cat version of Mew. You know what'll be awesome? Mew Big Claw. I swear, Mew Big Claw. That's what we need. If you extra fluff it, you could turn into Flareon. Oh, cat, don't give me any ideas. That means I have to buy a lot. Like, how many evolutions are there right now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's 8 evolutions right now. That means I have to buy 8 of these. That will be a project. I still would love to do it, but I don't know. Meg says he has 3 of these, and apparently they're pretty good to find. It's okay. Just having one more makes it less. Yeah, I think Meg, if you're trying to paint this all through the evolutions, yeah, that'd be awesome. I would love to see that. You gotta have Freddy help with all the sculpting. All right. Yeah, I don't know what to do right now. If you have the normal Eevee as well. 9 if you have one normal. Oh, that's so true. That is so true. Oh, this is the case of Bandai Magic. You start thinking about the variants and then calculating how much money you need to buy the multiple. Exactly. Bandai's Magic is also if you take a very shitty kid, just like a Tristan, but the Tristan looks cool. It just makes you believe, like, saying, oh no, I'm falling for their trick. It just looks so good. But the buildability is so bad. Full her, let's go. Ah, man. You know, modding this might be... Check out that butt. I'm not going to get banned by it. Oh, the Tristan. I'm doing that right now. Tristan is just BS. They just use old... Yeah. It's kind of weird. I mean, let's give Bandai some credit, okay? Tristan is a recycled Alex, so they are to the source material. They're using, at that time, the Alex kit. So they are reusing the Alex kit to that one, so they're following source material. That's more like a hamster butt. It is. Oh, so is that what the seam is for? This is a butt crack. That's what this seam is for. Surprised there's no MG Tristan by Logic. I mean, Tristan, again, it's not a bad kid. Alex is not a bad kid. And I've seen a lot of builders who really modified it to make it better. It's just like because the standard of today with like articulation and just the overall structure of the kit itself was not up to modern standard. That's why I got shit on. Other than that, it's a decent kit. I mean, this series also as well was like what, 3 minutes per episode? It's pretty short. Alex 2.0, P Bandai, MG Tristan. That is what I think Bandai would go. I don't think they're gonna revisit Tristan. There's a lot like a different type of stories of like how that went when so I think it was from Gundam Twilight Axis. That was the series that Tristan actually appeared. But Tristan doesn't come out as like the hero the protagonist. In fact, it was some Xeon soldier. Actually, Tristan was the enemy. It was the antagonist. Surprise, surprise. But that, I mean, I think they only had like 5 episodes of it, 3 minutes long. It would have been, I don't know, the marketing should have done better on that one, but I it was kind of underrated, but at the same time, it was kind of like filler. I overall love the idea though. I mean, Gundam series are always like in betweens, right? I think that's the thing that I really like the most. I'm currently reading one about the Delta Chi. It's basically how the nitrous system came to be and stuff like that. So that was pretty interesting. Have you seen the Moon Gundam mobile game? Yes, the UC Engage. I really want to try that out. Because I do love my Moon Gundam. And although I did give it a bad rep like when I first read it and saw it. But the more I look into it, it gets interesting. Yeah, Ziana, you like it yourself? I mean, it's not bad. I mean, it's a good kid. It's a good kid. If you just ignore the part about it's reusing older style. I mean, it'll be a shock to some people, but if you want to experience what it was like back in 2000, the early 2000s, yeah, that's the kid that you should take a look at. There are a lot of Bandai attempts that they have done on the Alex that nowadays it's changed completely. It was mainly trying to advertise the Sazabi version Verka. If you watch the Sazabi anime short, yeah, basically that's kind of what it is. It's Twilight Axis was about the remain of the Xeon. They're trying to find Char Aznable, and I think it's one of the female protagonists that I don't know got into Char's affair or something like that. It's kind of like one of those stories. Funny how that mobile game, they made such high quality anime cutscenes, but no anime for the series itself. Budget. It's in Japanese they call it otono no jijo, which is basically adult circumstances. I mean, there are some things where they don't want to overuse media. You know what's funny though? It's not the first time that Bandai kind of made that canon throughout. When I was in high school, that was the time, middle school, high school, in between. That was the time when Gundam Seed Destiny was airing. I lived in Korea, and every Thursday, I would say, that was the time when Gundam was airing. So I downloaded the episode, and I kept looking at it. And then there was this specific Bandai website where I, for some reason, signed up for it. And it was like an interesting choose your adventure book where each week you go in and you choose, and you know, you read through like this whole passage, and the actual situation itself is tied to the episode. So during that timeline, while you're reading it, you can choose whether you're Earth Federation or Zaft. I wish there was an orb option, but there was not. And you get to choose your mobile suit and also the action you want to take. And depending on the action from next week, they tell you your outcome or kind of like the overall situation. So that was really interesting. It was all in Japanese, so I had to use a translator, but it was still fun. It was like a real-time event. I wouldn't say the same about the series, though. It was a lot of mixed emotions. I wouldn't say hate, but you know, every week was kind of like, okay, what's gonna happen next? That was like the real-time excitement that I got in a while. I'm reading Johnny Raiden manga. They have really a good detail art for that suit. Yeah, she was an engineer to help build, design it. Oh, okay, that's right. But yeah, are you guys reading any like Gundam related media, like manga, novel, something like that? I know we're just like, you know, just talking because I finished the kit where I was supposed to build, but we could chit chat a little bit, just take a little break. I do need water anyways. Just only for a few minutes. The other one that I was reading was like a Mobile Suit Aggressor, which was a very, I would describe it as like the band Foo Fighters. It's your hard rock cigarette chewing, kind of grungy kind of a art style, which I love. It has a really neat aesthetics to it. And I think there are some kits that are kind of like that, but I don't think there's like an official Aggressor kit at all. Glory of the Loser is what I'm rereading, though that's a really good one. I just picked up volume 1. Oh, which one for that? Oh, for the Johnny Raiden? Yeah, that one. That one's also good. There's Johnny Raiden. He's kind of like one of those characters where I think a lot of people just give him too much shit because he used the color red on his suit. It's a different kind of red. Oh, you're talking about Glory of the Losers? Yeah. You know, those. So I don't know if many of you guys know, but the original Gundam creator, he also made novel versions of like each of the series, which had a very different outcome. Yeah, other manga is about girl building Gunpla. Oh, Eichi ni koi suru futari. I love that artist, and I did read that part of it. It's actually pretty good. I think the main character is the same age as I am because she did talk about Gundam Seed and Destiny, like at that time. So, yeah, I think that's what it resonated with me the most because we were the same age and we kind of were in the same time zone. The main character, what I meant was that one's a good one. I really love that art style because I was reading the other one, like it's about like the senpai at work kind of deal. No one gave the Psycho Zaku pilot shit for this. So that is a different universe. I don't think the Thunderbolt universe had Char Aznavour in his name anywhere. It's a completely different. I mean, the whole concept of Gundam and all that kind of stuff like that was also pretty different. So I'd be surprised if Thunderbolt introduced Char. I don't think they did, nor Amuro, nor anything related to. It's weird, like those alternate type of stuff like that. I don't think. Is it? Is Thunderbolt Universal Century? I think it is, but it's in kind of an alternate timeline. They touched briefly on the Gundam and the Zeon at the final battle. Oh, okay. I haven't really got far from Thunderbolt manga. I have to catch up. I really have to catch up. Like, there's a lot of things that I have to catch up on that one. The author is also the author of Battle Royale. I don't know if you guys ever read that manga. It's one of the one of the goriest things that I've ever seen in my life. Well, at that time. That's like kind of like my first time watching it. That and Berserk. I mean, it was a huge shock, right? And Claymore? I did read a lot of manga back in the days. Yeah, I gotta catch up on media. I am so far behind in One Piece. Everyone's keep telling me shit. I'm like, do not tell me. I will catch up. I will catch up. But yeah, getting back to the whole novel thing, yeah, there was a Gundam, like the first 0079 Gundam novel that the creator wrote. Had a very vast outcome and new characters. And you would not know any of this unless you're like a hardcore fan like me. I have to go research that shit, and most of the characters from that novel actually appeared in game as like a side character, like the G Generation series, like the very first one for the PS1. And I remember looking at this one character, and I could never figure out where she was from. Turns out it was from the novel. And there were two different type of Chen designs from Char's Counterattack, which Chen in the movie was like a blue-haired girl, but then in the novel version it's like a long blonde-haired girl. It's kind of weird. And that's not the Beltica Children version either. That's a different media. Gaia Gear. Oh my god. Gaia Gear is another different story. That's Char's clone in a different universe kind of deal. What was the novel called, if you remember? It was just Mobile Suit Gundam 0079. It's just a regular name. There was no subtitle, like no subtitles under it. It's just the Mobile Suit Gundam, but novel version. Let me see if I can find that actually. But I don't think it's translated at all. Okay. Yeah, it's just called Mobile Suit Gundam. Yoshiki Tomino. Novelization was intended to be more mature than the TV series, with several revisions and changes to the story. Yeah, if you guys can find the translation, I highly recommend reading it. It's a very interesting approach. I mean, leading up to the actual final scene of like the final battle is similar, but there are some changes over there that I don't know. You'll get to see Tomino's style of writing. He also has like other show that's non-Gundam that will depress the shit out of you. Like Zambort 3 was one of that show. It's crazy. But there's also great shows. That's kind of a hit or miss. I think Brain Powered was one of them. What's another good one? Danbine? Was Danbine by him? I think so. Danbine, Zabongo, Ideon, of course. There's a lot. This guy's a madman. He created a lot of things that we thought that, oh, this is by a different person, right? No, it's by Tomino. Shit. I have 2 or 3 JoJo novels on the way with no current translation. The end of Heavy Metal Elgine was heartbreaking. Oh, man. This is why I love Super Robot Wars. I mean, I've been playing 30, Super Robot Wars 30, and a lot of older series has come back, and I'm like, you know what? I want to rewatch every single one of them again, just to understand, like just if I remember things correctly. I mean, yeah, there's a lot, and if you go into rabbit hole like me for Super Robot Wars or Brave Saga, that's a dangerous one right there. Yeah, be careful. You should. It's actually, if you never played Super Robot Wars before, that's one of the games that I would recommend you getting, because you can get it on Steam in the US market. You don't have to import or anything. I import mine because I don't have a really powerful PC to run the game like properly. And I like it portable, so I got the Switch version. Yeah, you guys probably won't see it, but I actually have the limited edition for the Super Robot War 30. So that's how big of a fan I am for this one. Went from alpha all the way up to right now. A lot has changed, but it's a lot easier. But yeah, I think I might. Unless we want to talk more about the Super War stuff, I think I might end my stream here, because I mean, the whole portion of the whole purpose of the stream is just to build this guy. Very cute, very squishy. I really love him. Let's see who's on right now. Oh. The only mega crossover I've ever played is Another Century episode. You know, let me get your guys' opinion. I'm more of a retro game kind of guy. Like, of course I have modern games too, but I love going through retro games, and retro mecha games like one thing. And one of the things that I have is Another Century episode. That one, I want to finish that game. I guess from start to finish, because it's a great series, especially if you love mecha crossovers. And I'm willing to go and try that out, or at least finish it. The only issue that I have right now is going to be the translation part. I could kind of translate if I could hear it. But I'm only concerned about the viewers here, because like you guys will probably like, it's gonna be very hard to read. But as long as we're okay with like that boundary, I would love to stream that game. I also wanted to stream G Savior, which a lot of people never played it before. It's a pretty interesting game to play. That one is voiced in English, but the subtitles in Japanese. So, and it's not related to the movie. It doesn't follow the movie plot at all. It's actually it's kind of like a different, like a sequel prequel kind of deal with the movie. That's the funny part. But yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts, because I do have a lot of retro games that I really love to stream, and I would love to use this setup as a kind of also for gaming as well. I mean, right now everything's optimized with, you know, the build cam, and then just like the build cam right here, but it's only like one camera angle, so I mean, really there's nothing too much going on. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. But yeah, I think I might call it a stream tonight, because yeah, it's been pretty fun. Again, thank you guys so much for joining me for the Eevee. I'm trying to figure out what to do with this guy. Very squishy guy. I might try to at least fix the seam line from here, but I gotta have to take a good look at this one because I really do want to show this to my fiance. She's also a Pokemon nerd like me, so this would be very good. So here's what we'll do. I do know that Freddy Was Wrong was supposed to stream today, which I think he is right now. So we're going to go and raid him. But before we do that, let's go to the end screen. All right. I gotta have to think something good about this end screen, but I'd like to thank you, every single one of you right here, especially for Albie, who've been resubbing, and yeah, thank you guys so much for this one. If you guys really enjoyed what I did, I am planning to do a lot more every Wednesday. For right now, that's the schedule, but if you guys want to see more of my schedule of like when I'll be streaming again soon, check out my Twitter. I usually post my schedules over there, but what we're going to do right now is we're going to raid Freddy Was Wrong. And if you guys don't know who he is, he just got back into streaming, and he is a master of doing horror plot, what they call it, which personally, it's an inspiration because there's a lot of things that you could learn from that, like that putty technique that I showed you, or I told you about. He's a very interesting builder, and I encourage you to see whether you like discussing stuff or not. Try to learn something from him because he's actually pretty good with what it is. You guys probably seen some of these works before, but that's where we're gonna rate. Okay, that's where we're gonna rate today. Again, thank you guys so much for hanging out right now. It's been fun. It's been good. Just catching up with you guys, hanging out with all the friends and families out here. Don't forget, this weekend, it's a free schedule. I may or may not stream something over there, but if anything, it's either going to be building or video games. So, or who knows, it could be singing, because that's kind of like the one thing that gives me freedom, at least for this weekend. But yeah, guys. Yeah, thank you guys for hanging out, and I'm gonna do my usual outro. I might try to change it a little bit, but my name was EA Spuds, and